Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, well, we're tackling something really important for anyone working in the modern data world. We want to cut through the noise and really distill what matters about Informatica Professional Certifications, specifically focusing on the IDMC, the cloud, and SaaS products.
Exactly. And it's about strategy,
Yeah.
not just ticking a box. We want you to see these aren't just some quick marketing quizzes. These are serious validation tools. They've been rigorously designed by people who really know their stuff, domain experts. The goal is to set a clear technical standard, a benchmark for success, and measure, well, deep, hands-on product knowledge. Mastery, really.
Mastery. Yeah, I think that's the perfect word. That's the core idea here. When you look at why they exist, these are intensive exams based on specific roles. They check if you don't just understand the features, but if you can actually do the specific, sometimes complex tasks, things like administration, support, development within the IDMC. It's really about proving you have tangible skills for, high-stakes situations.
Precisely. And to give you that strategic view you're looking for, we should probably stop thinking of these as just a list of certification names. It's better to see them as like career pathways built around key cloud functions. What's interesting is how they break down the skills you need for success with the modern IDMC, starting with the basics, like moving and integrating data.
Okay, good point. Let's unpack that then.
Not
Let's jump right into the specific professional certifications you can get in the cloud environment. We can group them by what they actually do, their function. Let's start where most cloud projects probably begin, just getting the data moving.
Right.
So in that area, core data integration and application integration, you've got two main professional certifications. First, there's the Cloud Data Integration Developer Professional Certification, and second, the Cloud Application Integration Developer Professional Certification.
Okay, now we need to pause here for a sec, because just saying moving data isn't quite enough detail, right?
Yeah.
For someone who knows this space. The data integration one, it focuses more on the big stuff, high volume data, heavy transformations, traditional ETL and modern batch processing, moving large structured data sets efficiently.
Okay, high volume. Got it. So what about the application integration developer then?
That's more about the real-time connections, like the connective tissue between systems. That certification shows you can manage processes, orchestrate workflows, handle APIs, make sure cloud apps talk to each other seamlessly. So if you're building something where, say, you need an instant update when a record changes in Salesforce, well, that's where the application integration skill is crucial. It's more about process, maybe less about sheer volume, petabytes.
Right. That's a really important difference. It highlights that decision a professional needs to make. Are you going to be the architect for those massive data pipelines, or are you the specialist for the real-time application workflows? You can't really fake it in either role on a big project.
Absolutely not. And once you've got the data moving, the next big challenge in the cloud is, well, trust. Can you rely on that data? Which brings us nicely to the second area, data governance and quality. These are the skills that give the business confidence that the data being moved around is actually reliable.
Okay, so under data governance and quality, we've got two more key cloud certifications. There's the Cloud Data Governance and Catalog Professional Certification.
Yeah.
And the Cloud Data Quality Professional Certification.
Yeah, and again, while they sound related, the roles they validate are actually quite different day to day. The Governance and Catalog Cert, that's all about the who, what, where, and why of your data. It validates skills in managing metadata, tracking data lineage, enforcing policies, finding those hidden data assets across your IDMC platform. Think of them as like the data map maker.
So if I need to know where a specific number in my report came from and who owns the policy for using it, I'd look for the Certified Governance Professional.
Exactly. Yeah. Precisely. Whereas the Data Quality Professional Cert, that validates the person who actually rolls up their sleeves, gets their hands dirty, making sure the data meets the required standards.
Yeah.
They're doing the data profiling, setting up cleansing rules, standardization, handling exceptions. They're like the data hygienists, making sure you have consistent, quality, reliable content. Certification here proves you can maintain that quality, even when you're dealing with messy data from lots of different cloud sources.
Okay, that makes sense. So, moving on. Let's talk about where specialized cloud apps meet data management. That takes us to MDM and the 360 applications, which live firmly in the SaaS part of IDMC. This area, I think, represents some really high-value roles right now. They directly impact things like customer experience, supply chain efficiency, really critical stuff.
Definitely.
So here we have three specific 360 professional certifications aimed at developers. There's a Customer 360 SaaS developer, the Product 360 SaaS developer, and the Supplier 360 sauce developer.
Right, three distinct ones.
And actually, before we get into why they're different, I need to just pause for a second here because I know I, and probably a lot of people, sometimes slip up on how we say SAS, software as a service. The correct technical way to say it is SaaS, not sauce. So, apologies if I've slipped up before. I'll try my best to stick to SaaS going forward, especially when we're talking about these developer certs, because, precision really does matter in the cloud.
It absolutely does. Precision matters. And the very fact that there are three distinct SAS 360 developer certifications, well, that's the key insight, isn't it? They aren't interchangeable. Not at all. Well, they all touch on master data management ideas, the actual data models, the governance rules, the specific integration needs. They're vastly different for each role.
Can you give us an example, just to highlight that strategic difference?
Sure. Take the Customer 360 SaaS developer. Their world revolves around things like identity resolution, figuring out complex relationships for households or businesses, integrating tricky CRM data. That's fundamentally different from, say, the Product 360 SaaS developer. They need to be experts in safe view rationalization, integrating digital asset management systems, supporting huge product catalogs. The data structures they work with are completely unique.
Okay, totally different focus. And the Supplier 360 sauce developer, that sounds very specialized, like supply chain and risk focused.
It is, exactly. That certification validates skills in managing vendor hierarchies, dealing with supply chain risk data, handling regulatory compliance for suppliers, financial integrations. Hiring managers specifically look for these separate developer certs because it tells them the person has really grappled with the unique business logic for each domain. That seriously reduces project risk.
Right, so if we tie all these specialized roles back to the why bother, why pursue certification, the source material points to some clear benefits that go way beyond just, a line on your resume.
That's right. First off, there's increased confidence. And this isn't just about you feeling confident. It's about the trust that employers, and maybe even more importantly, customers, place in certified professionals. They rely on them to make knowledgeable decisions. In cloud projects, mistakes can be really expensive. So, confidence is like currency.
Yeah, that makes sense. And second, there's a real gain in enhanced problem solving. Certified folks are demonstrably better equipped to figure out complex IDMC configuration problems quickly and effectively. That's because the exams actually test deep troubleshooting skills, and that translates directly into better project uptime, fewer cost blowouts.
And finally, it helps ensure consistent quality. Like we talked about, certification means there's a consistent way to measure and validate knowledge across different people, different teams. If a customer is migrating their critical data pipelines to IDMC, they need to know they'll get a consistent level of quality no matter which certified developer is doing the work. Certification cuts down on variability, makes things more predictable.
That idea of predictability is kind of reinforced by the verification process too, right? You mentioned the certification verification search is now built right into the Informatica community search.
Yeah, and that verification tool is actually pretty vital for the industry. We hear that many certified users, and definitely hiring managers and system integrators, ask for proof during the hiring process. Plus, it lets customers easily check the certifications of the people working on their, sensitive, high-stakes IDMC projects. It builds that confidence and trust right from the start, before anyone even starts coding or migrating data.
Okay, so putting this all together, what does this deep dive mean for you, the listener, right now? Thinking strategically. You know these exams are tough. They're not just about memorizing facts.
Right. And since these rigorous exams are specifically designed to measure that practical, operational product knowledge that aligns directly with what's taught in the related training courses, well, the path to mastery is pretty clear. If you're serious about proving you have these specialized skills and you want to take advantage of the demand for IDMC expertise, we'd strongly encourage you to register for those related training courses first, and then go for the professional certification. That combination really sets you up to handle the real-world scenarios the exams test.
Yeah, absolutely. So connecting this to the bigger picture, getting professionally certified isn't just about passing an exam. It's really about setting a clear, verifiable standard for success. It rigorously validates your expertise for these critical projects using the latest in IDMC and SAS. It kind of proves you got both the tech and the business context.
Could agree more. The certification is solid proof of competence in what's an incredibly fast-moving field.
So here's something to think about. Considering how fast cloud platforms evolve, updates all the time, features changing. How does maintaining that certified expertise change the relationship between you as a professional and your employer or client? especially when you need to ensure consistent quality in these constantly shifting environments. Does the certification become less about that initial proof of knowledge and maybe more about demonstrating ongoing continuous learning? Something to mull over as you check out the detailed FAQs and support pages. Thanks for diving deep with us today.